Trauma leaves its mark, yet every emotion, even painful ones, have their place. Each tells us something about our needs, our longings, and our limits. For many, what can hurt begins early. Images of disaster, planes striking buildings, floods, earthquakes, wars. They all lodge in young minds, replayed endlessly on television, or even experienced firsthand. Children and teenagers often respond with sadness, or with anger, or even bewilderment. They ask, "Why should this happen?" And if they are from a religious home, "Why would a powerful God of love allow it?" Even as adults, the past can haunt us. The trouble is, an emotional hurt long ago can lead us to being negatively reactive in the present. A harsh parent, when we were younger, for example, may live on now in our responses to authority at work. A supervisor's criticism can feel like a punishment handed down years before. If the response to an overcritical parent had been, "You blame me for everything," then one is likely to be ready to feel blamed for mishaps and errors anywhere. Don't resentments formed in childhood linger? How sad if we allow them to shape bitter feelings now. If we cling to childhood wounds, real or imagined, they can distort our current relationships. Have we got a hurt, resentful child still lurking in our hearts? Suppressed pain does not fade, it festers. Avoidance in facing up to the experience of being hurt can become bitterness. We may be dishonest with ourselves and deny the past trauma by being, for example, excessively cheerful, a sort of toxic positivity. Take the survivor of abuse, physical or sexual, who is urged to forgive too quickly. Now, of course, forgiveness is healthy and uplifting, but if spoken under pressure, it may bypass rage, mourning, and the demand for justice. I'm afraid it just won't work to try to force an attitude of forgiveness simply because one believes that is how one should feel. First, we need to actually get in touch with the underlying feeling. Better to allow difficult emotions to arise without resistance so we can then work on them. To rebuild ourselves, we need space to feel the full range of our emotions and then gently to let them pass through us. So we let go of the past without denying the pain. Don't allow it to define who we each are. Mindfulness and compassion-based practices invite us to sit with suffering, not to cling to it or to push it away. Any experience of mistreatment should not be dismissed as insignificant. Now, of course, this is not about turning a blind eye to what was harmful. Rather, it is about seeing the past with mature eyes, recognizing the faults of those who harmed us, but also, if possible, the fragments of goodness that may have been overlooked. Like we might see anger in our parents as dislike for us, but it could at least in part have been due perhaps to a concern for our knowing right from wrong as they saw it. Such a reappraisal of the positives as well as the negatives is not always easy. For some of us it is impossible. At least impossible without the help of a good counsellor. But where it can be done, it brings balance. It prevents us from being trapped in one-sided stories of harm and allows appreciation for moments of care, however small. When we take a holiday flight, the plane flies above the clouds, where all is gloom, into the bright sunshine. Likewise, if we try to raise our minds above any preoccupation on what resulted in bitterness and grievance, then we can find positive memories. We can recall what illuminates the past and find a more balanced view. We gain a fairer perspective on not just of those who hurt us, but of people we now meet in our present lives. Now, of course, many spiritual traditions speak of this balanced state of mind as equanimity. For the religious philosopher Emanuel Swedenborg, it is the serenity of the soul, a peace that comes after our struggle, with God's help, our struggle to let go of bitterness and grievance. Then destructive desires and falsehoods can lose their grip. Now, this peace is not simply the absence of pain, it is life renewed, truth and love awakening within us. And within Christianity, practices of confession and prayer open the way to compassion and forgiveness. In both, humility and trust are pathways to peace. If we come from a Christian background, we may be more likely to experience subjective feelings of closeness to God, positive views of God, and a sense of the divine in daily life. Islamic teaching likewise places trust in God at the heart of spiritual resilience. The Quran repeatedly encourages reliance upon Allah, even in suffering, and so equanimity is not passive, it is a calm state of mind born of acceptance. It does not erase suffering, but transforms it, reducing bitterness, fostering forgiveness, and creating space for growth and meaning. If you found what I've been saying helpful, you may want to click the link to the video, How Do I Make the Sadness Go Away? Part of the playlist I've done on emotional healing. Thanks for watching.